Good morning, guys. My name is Michael Ransom, and I want to share some things with you. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm 33, and I want to show you my life. So, let's get the day started, shall we? Hey, guys. Welcome to my world. This is my inspiration. This is where everything happens, the magic. This is where I do my pattern, my draping, my sewing. I do everything right here in this room. So let me show you around, okay? So as I said, this is where all the magic happens. I store everything here, my projects, my patterns, everything that I would need, such as my dresses, sleeves, jackets, everything, bodices, you name it, all the clothes. I uploaded some pictures for you guys to see, the dresses, jackets, you name it. This right here is when I did Downtown Orlando Fashion Week. You can see my mood boards. Everything that I'm inspired by. This is my Downtown Orlando Fashion Week wall when I did my Fashion Week. And everything here just tells a story of who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish in life. I've decided that I want to set this up to show you guys one of my things that I've done that I'm very proud of. When it comes to designing, I pull inspiration from the past. I pull inspiration from the future where it comes for trend setting and where fashion has come and how far it's come. As you see behind me, I actually am inspired by Chanel's tweed jacket, so I drafted this jacket, and I think detail is so important, from everything from the tapered waist to pockets on the jacket to the pearl buttons that I installed. When it comes to women wear, I think that you really get to really more express yourself than most men's wear. So I love being able to tell a story through that purpose. And I'm trying to learn to do the same thing through men's fashion. As you can see, also, I patterned this cool pant from start to finish, detailed everything that you would normally see, from great pockets, the crotch fly area, the button, everything that you see on a pair of pants that you could actually buy from the store. That's what's important when designing from home. You know, it's not looking like a craft, it's looking fashion. It's creating, and it's long lasting. And that's something I strive for. I love Karl Lagerfeld. Everything that he has done since taking over the House of Chanel back in the 70s. Gabrielle Chanel took fashion to a whole new level. And you can tell that Karl is really thinking about her when it comes to inspiration. The Chanel jacket is timeless. The little black dress. It's something that 50, 40, 100 years from now, you'll be able to look and say, wow, this is a great piece, you know, and I can pass this on to my child. And that's what's important. Building a brand, making longevity, and getting people to understand who you are as a person without even saying anything. And that's what motivates me. When I was in school, I always would daydream about where I wanted my life to go and who I wanted to be. And when I was about 15, 16, what I actually did was start actually becoming more interested in fashion. I wanted to know what it was. And that's when I decided to model. I signed with an agency, but I knew I could never make it as a fashion model other than doing print. But runway was never going to be me because of my height, and I understand that. So I said, hey, why not design? So it all started then. Once I turned 24, I moved to Orlando, where I'm currently located at now, and I went out and I got my bachelor's degree in fashion design and merchandising. So everything that they teach you in order to get your bachelor's, I have learned. I started back in 2008, and one of the things that I knew I had to do was learn the in and outs of fashion. And I was one of the first person ever in my school's history to become a personal assistant, production assistant to the department chair of fashion. And I did that. The only one, and even to this day, the last one. So becoming a production assistant opened up so many doors for me. I learned to produce fashion shows, and I learned to pattern draft. I learned to tailor. I learned the history and trend setting. Where would you like to see yourself in a certain amount of years? I was all over the place because I know I wanted to do it all. So I dabbled in everything. I became a president of the fashion club, and I set up my group going to New York Fashion Week, and then Miami Fashion Week was right there, so it was a lot closer. So I always knew at the end that New York Fashion Week was going to be a goal, but we started volunteering at Miami Fashion Week, producing, dressing, and just seeing the in and outs of Fashion Week. And that inspired me to create my own Fashion Week. Downtown Orlando Fashion Week is something that I started back in 2010 while I was still in college. And when I graduated in 2011, I've already made history being the first Orlando-based Fashion Week. And it was everything that you could imagine. It was just magical seeing something on paper come to life. And to this day, that's one of my most proudest, other than graduating, thing that I've ever done. I've always watched Project Runway ever since the first season, all the way up now to season 17, RuPaul's Drag Race. So I love the dynamic of TV and fashion. Victoria's Secret fashion shows was something that I said, hey, I'm gonna produce that show one day, But helping other people through being behind the scenes actually made me want to be more focused on myself instead of just focusing on other people's designs and their longevity. Say, it's time that I step back in front of the camera instead of behind the scenes, to whereas I can tell my story. I helped so many other people accomplish their goals and dreams, and now it's really time for me to do it. Something inside told me, Michael, just do it. Go to Project Runway and attempt to show the world who you are. Because longevity is so important, and my goal in the next few years is to become a designer that is in department department stores, not just doing the single dresses for clientele outside, but to literally have you walk into a department store and say, this is my collection. This was seen at New York Fashion Week. This is in the Vogue magazine. Project Runway can do that for me. It can help me put my foot through the door to where I could see myself at the CFDA Awards, the Fashion Fund, or even sitting right next to Anna Wintour herself. Like, fashion is just everything to me. I live it, I eat it, I dream it. Like, there's nothing else more in this world that's important to me. And what's more important than being yourself and just doing what you love? You know, a lot of people don't get to do that every day, and I'm so thankful that I actually followed my dreams to the point to where I know I'm headed into the right direction. You know, I've come a long way, and I just really want to see how far I could go and what's around that corner, because, you know, fate's knocking at my door, and I have to try. So with your help, Project Runway, and you judges, I just want to show who I am. I want to show the world that I'm a great designer, and this is what I was meant to do. And I want to be like Karl Lagerfeld. I want to be an American designer, of course, but when he tells his fashion story and you see it on the runway, it's amazing. It's like going into this new world to where you just dream. And that's very important to me, you know, like being able to see your clothes on the runway and people taking pictures, and you see the setting of the runway. It's like you're outside, but you're indoors, you know, or you're in the streets of Paris. You could literally do whatever you want. And that's what I want to do. I want people to appreciate my work. So when I'm long gone, I want people to look at me as a designer that loved what he does and left his knowledge behind to teach others and to help others express themselves. But, you know, coming from a broken home, you know, with a single mother, one thing I can say is that she never let me give up on my dreams. She was always pushing me to follow what I wanted to do, you know, and not a lot of people have that support. And I just want to give it to you guys. I just want to really show how passionate I am about fashion and where I want to be.